Namaskaram and a very good evening, Guru Alexandra Romanova. We are delighted and actually excited to have you as one of our chief guests. Thank you for gracing Maargam 2021 with your presence. We are humbled. You are someone who has proved time and again that art knows no geographical boundaries. You have effortlessly infused two different cultures into one through your love for dance. And you've also set forth an example by encouraging everyone to just forget about competition and love art and just enjoy art. So, Guru, I welcome you to speak a few words about your journey, your artistic journey.
Thank you very much for inviting me for your conference, for your festival. And my journey is quite long. I'm not young anymore. But it started at the National Ballet School in Warsaw. I was born in Warsaw, Poland. And I wanted to become a dancer, classical dancer. So the only school that we have was the National Ballet School attached to the National Theatre. And when I was 13, our school was preparing the performance of Nutcracker of Tchaikovsky. And in the second part of this, in the second act of Nutcracker, there are a lot of ethnic dances from different cultures. And one of them is Eastern or Oriental dance that he created music for. And we got the paper from our director describing this dance, and I was supposed to take part in that small item. And he gave us this paper, and it was about Lord Shiva, Nataraja. And that was the first time when I was 13, I learned about Lord Nataraja. I have never seen Indian classical dance of any form before. And it was later that somehow it developed in my subconscious and conscious, perhaps due to very strong Indian sanskaras that I believe I have, the affinity to Indian culture, with the result that I have joined the Warsaw University and was graduated from Indological studies. So I learned Indian languages, history, etc. And I had the luck to have the director who was coming from a family of artists. So he allowed me to, within the Indological studies, study Indian classical dance. First in Warsaw, I was reading Natya Shastra, Sangita Ratnakara, and other texts in Sanskrit with a professor, a Sanskrit professor that was appointed to do this work with me. And then I was granted a scholarship to go to India. After I completed Indology, I was sent to Delhi, and I told my professor that I want to learn this dance that I have never seen. Just 2 years before I was sent to Delhi, I got a book of Mohan Khokar, a manual of Adavus. And I was practicing with this book, never seeing the dance. So when I came to Delhi, I met Mohan Khokar, late Mohan Khokar, he's no more. And he was a brilliant theoretician of Indian classical dance and critic, married to M.K. Saroja, a very famous Bharatnatyam dancer. I said, look, I learned Adavus from your book, but I have never seen this dance form. So he asked me, please don't go to any show. First show me what you learned from my book. And he was really shocked that I did no mistakes. So I learned all this adabus first from his book. And I joined the school of Yamini Krishnamurti. He became my guru, who brought me up to the Arangetram. I stayed 5 years in Delhi. I used to perform with my guru Yamini Krishnamurti for different occasions, and I did Arangetram with her. So later, I came to Germany, to Heidelberg, and decided to establish a small institution, school for Bharatnatyam, and to work out my way to perform this dance. So what I didn't do in India, I didn't pretend that I'm Indian, except the fact that I was dyeing my hair black, because that was the time it looked better. But I used to say my name, and I used to say where I'm coming from. And it was very pleasant for many people, because they were really thrilled that somebody from another country wanted to learn something about Indian culture. But when I came to Germany, I decided to, of course, do performances with the items I learned, and to, like, we used to do the full Maargam, as it's said. Plus, I started very, very early those days. I was interpreting German poetry, German famous poets, using the language of gestures of Bharatanatyam. Later, I joined a group of Ricky Ray, an established musician, who called his group Mangalam. And for many years, we used to perform. And for this purpose, I made a lot of choreographies together with Anandan Shivamani, the drummer, who was coming here to Germany. I used to organize concerts for us and perform with him. He took me when I was in Chennai, when we were preparing for our tour. He took me to his guru, T.K. Murthy, his late mridangam player, who was teaching me some jatis for different items. Then we also, Mangalam was also performed together with THV Vinayak Ram, very famous Gatam player. And we invited his son, Selva Ganesh, for a couple of years to perform with us and to work with us. So within this group, I was not performing the full 1.5 hour performance, but I was always in between presenting my choreographies. They were composing different items for me. One of them called by my name, Alex, disturbing Alex, because I was always disturbing them by rehearsals. And one of this that a small piece of it, Vinayaka. When Viku was here on tour, out of gratitude, he has given me, presented me this jati that I choreographed, and he said, "Thank you very much for your work." So I choreographed it, and we used to perform it. My idea of working with Bharatanatyam was very much influenced with some personalities that I met in India, some yogis that I met who are not famous. They are not famous gurujis. That I realized this art I consider, and it is considered as so-called sadhana, the way of life. So for me, it became a way of life. And from the very moment when I was also studying in Delhi, I decided I take it seriously, with the idea of connecting spiritually, subconsciously, to all the gurus for thousands of years created this dance form. It doesn't matter in which school, later, how it's developed in different styles. Just starting with Bharata, who brought us the idea of this art in his Natya Shastra, continuing with those anonymous people who really created something very brilliant. And that it was not supposed to be used for some personal narcissistic ideas to promote oneself and to show how great we are, just for the purpose of inner development. So for me, it became like another yoga, which is considered by many people who are comparing this form of art with the yogic discipline. So, because I was also continuing doing yoga myself, and later I realized that it changes me dramatically, and it creates some very interesting ideas in my head. So, a couple of years ago, I had a student who is a doctor of psychiatry and psychology, and her husband is neurologist. So I started asking them questions. Why I feel like this when I'm doing certain movements, and they started explaining me, and we started a very interesting research and came to the point that Bharatnatyam dance is a very important tool to enhance the plasticity of our brain with all the consequences. That is extremely expands our consciousness. And they explain me on the neural. I won't tell you now because it's a very complex idea of very scientific idea of how they approach it. So one thing is the doctor of neurology said, well, people who do Bharatnatyam will never have Alzheimer's because it's not possible for a person who is using at the same time both sides of the brain. It's impossible that they will become somehow at the late age when they are old disabled. So this is one of the things. And I had some health issue, like approximately 8 years ago. I have some couple of seizures for no reason, and the doctors couldn't say why. That very limited my abilities to dance and work and even to think. So it took me many years to get out of this limitation. And my doctor said, because I asked him, does brain reproduce itself after those damages when we get no, but if the brain is have this plasticity, is flexible due to the previous work like Bharatnatyam, it takes very short time to move the certain movements and the functions from the damaged part into the healthy part. So it took me a couple of years that now I can say, well, I became healthy, and we are sure that it was through my involvement in Bharatanatyam and this dance. So my message to everybody who is doing this dance, it's fun to perform, and I really enjoy to perform in front of really thousands of people. With Mangalam, we have really huge audience, and they were screaming and they were happy. It's fun. But I learned that after the performance, it's finished. You work further. Don't get into this idea that you are great or you are something special, or don't miss it. Some artists take drugs or alcohol because they are missing this excitement on stage, this love that people are giving. What is most important at the moment of the performance is the communication, heart to heart or soul to soul with the audience. To that extent that one is feeling the people. Sometimes we cannot see them because it's dark, the place when they are sitting, but to feel the people and to feel that these ideas and this energy that we are conveying to them, it doesn't matter what we are portraying, that you feel the people, you convey this message and you get the feedback. So that was another question, how it happens. The neurologist said it's due to the certain certain neurons in our brain that are called the mirror neurons. We are showing the mirror to the audience and they are giving us back our feelings. It's very interesting. And we were also examining this idea of mirror neurons in the work. So these neurons, for example, are taking part when we are learning something. The kids are using a lot of mirror neurons. When we perform, they said it's like a fire in the brain, and this energy goes to the audience. And if you are really clean, if you are really free of your selfishness, and you are really with pure, you have pure heart, you are really touching the depth of the soul of the audience. And this is that's what I understand. It's about, this is what is Bharatnatyam. And that's how I teach also. I give full freedom. I don't expect anything, because this is the same process. When I'm teaching, I'm learning. It's not that the guru knows everything. It doesn't, it's not like this. When we are teaching, we are learning a lot about ourselves and about people, and I learn still till today. So this is my idea, and I'm very happy that I created this school, and it's like since 1988. And we are still alive, so to say, even during the pandemics. Everybody's enthusiastic and happy. I'm also happy to have such fantastic students and having so much love and enthusiasm for this form of art. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Alexandra. It was awesome listening to you about your journey and how you came to India, to learn this art. And to be honest, I mean, though we are from India and we have learned it from India from when we were child, I don't think any guru have taught me these things which you have taught me in this last 1 year. I'm sure Ramya and Jansi will definitely agree with me on this. Ramya, are you there in the call?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, fully agree with what you have told. It's different. I have also learned under a couple of gurus in India, but with Alexandra, it's very, very different. It's not just about learning the physical part of dance, right? It's also about the philosophy, the theory, and art as a whole. That is what we learned from her. So glad to have you as a guru, Alexandra.
Thank you. I'm happy. So my life was not for nothing. And my struggle. It was not always so easy to do it. When I came to Germany, nobody knew what is it about, and to go through and convince people that we have to organize this performance, it was very difficult. But at the end, it's the door is now open for everybody. Now there are many dancers here who are doing it.
Yeah, in the call, I think we also have Evelyn. Do you want to share some knowledge of here?
Sorry?
You can, yeah. Do you want to share some experience? What you had when you joined Bharatnatyam in Heidelberg?
Yeah. What I love most about dancing here in Heidelberg with Alexandra is that joy is so important, and that we spend more effort into having fun and just enjoy dance. And okay, sometimes you make mistakes, that's fine, as long as you have fun and you love to dance. That's the most important part about dancing, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so much, Alexandra. And I also want to introduce you to the two co-founders of Maargam. That is my sisters, Anjali and Varsha. So even they have also put a lot of effort and to put this event to come on, in reality. And we have Suprita Rao. So Suprita is also from Deutschland. She's not a trained dancer, but she is an amazing dancer. She can take up any form. I have watched her dance perform Bharatnatyam and Lavani before, and it's amazing. Suprita, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you. That's why I was just moving my lips.
It's the Zoom call issues.
Thank you so much. Do you want me to say something, or?
No, I mean, if you want to.
I'm more than happy to just hear others today.
Yeah, no, I wanted to introduce you to Alexandra. That's why I thought to take a minute to introduce you. And we also have my aunt who had, okay, I shouldn't call her auntie. So my aunt, her name is Danya. She's the one who behind all the videos which is created for Bharatnatyam in Heidelberg. So we have done one promo video and one dance video earlier last year for Bharatnatyam in Heidelberg, for dance school, and she's the one who did the entire video for us, the editing and all the credit behind that.
It's always pleasure to doing with you all. Nice to be in the team. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have two budding dancers, Nitya and Maya, joining from US, and they're also here to meet you in person, Alexandra. And everybody was very amazed by the ideas. So I was telling them the ideas which you teach in the class, like how a guru should be and what is dance. It is not about having a perfect, a geometry in your body. It's about just enjoying it. So everybody was very keen to meet you, and I thank you so much for joining us for.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to also thank you for organizing this kind of events, especially this time of pandemic proved to us what is important in life. I mean, food and home. And I think the next is not so much money, what is it about nowadays? Well, but really art. People are missing it. And if this will be taken away from us, it will be, the world won't look nice.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
need a little bit of this. I wanted to say also some credits to other teachers of mine I didn't mention. I learned also from Piti Narendran, who is a brilliant Kalakshetra dancer. And we performed also together in Germany for many times. And Ranganayaki Jayaraman, a teacher from Chennai, those days Madras, a very brilliant and very sweet lady who taught me a lot of items that she learned from her auntie, who was Lalita was a contemporary of Rukmini Devi those days. And unfortunately, Ranganayaki Jayaraman was not allowed to perform because she belongs to this strict Brahmin family, but she really enjoyed teaching and living this art. So I wanted to thank you, not only my main guru, Yamini Krishnamurti, but also Piti Narendran and Srimati Ranganayaki Jayaraman for the guidance and ideas. And once more, Sivamani, who is a dear friend of mine, and he brought me to all kind of Gurujis and showed me another India, secret India.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Alexandra.